And tonight, while not being a points-paying event, is going to be one of the most interesting nights of the season. That is for sure. This is the Integrity Racing League Interleague event, and we are just kicking things off here in Lakeland, Florida, the USA International Raceway, and drivers getting done with their qualifying runs as we speak before we get the stage set for what will be our first heat race. Some guys not having their training paint schemes up and loaded just yet. We'll have that on our way as the night goes on, as we see certain drivers for the Monday and Tuesday segments of this league, the Ignite Series and the Octane Series, as everyone slowly and surely gets on their way. Tom Wetmore in the 51 machine looks to be second on the board. Boomer Logan is not on the track just yet, and it looks like Randy Fiaf done with his run position. Number 24, and it looks like not a lot of guys that will not make the main event at the very least. 25 drivers are going to make it into that main feature here in Florida, and all these guys going around right now, they are looking for an opportunity to make their way in. It looks like Victor Avila going to put it into position number 23. Cody Griffin, as we speak, in the number 3 is going to put himself up into position number 17 as Brandon Bernhardt comes down pit road that time through. Terablich still on the way here in the 7th spot, getting some extra practice. Tom Wetmore in second, 12 thousandths of a second off of pole sitter Ethan Lane. And these guys are going to be divided into the first segment of the heats. 10 cars will advance from the first and second heats to make up 20 of the 25 drivers in the main event. After they're on out, a 5-driver consolation race, and that will be it before the 75-lap main event winner does get, indeed, a prize this time by $20 to win it all, and 10 to second, $5 to third, and then $5 to a random finisher in this race, as Kevin Matz still getting some practice laps. And Lakeland, absolutely a different experience from a majority of these tracks. You can see how small it is. The front straightaway, the back straightaway, very similar in length. You can see the turns almost the entirety of the way through the track. Kevin Matz in the 50 machine right now, on his way, still getting some extra practice laps, and a lot of these guys just gearing up for the remainder of this one. 25 laps each heat race, very short distance, and that will come down less than 25 miles in each of the races that determine the main grid. 75 a lap feature, a much shorter event than what we're used to last week and last night. Last night, of course, being 250 miles, but now this being a shorter race, these guys are able to back it down and have some fun. Knowing not much is on the line, of course, there is a prize. Still, not going to impact points and performance. These guys are all running the Xfinity Series cars tonight, a little bit of a smoke in front of the 50. As Matt's one of the very few drivers still on the track. Looks like he might be one of the only. Tom Wetmore still in the way right now in the number 51 machine. And Wetmore, one of the few, as we look at the rear view camera, still making his way down all the way onto the apex there, getting oh so close to the yellow stripe and almost hitting the apron time after time. 5 seconds remain, and it looks like Ethan Lane will be top of the board of the number 26 machine. That's how we kick things off here in Lakeland, getting started. Now, it looks like the 26 will be lining up on the pole position for this event. The first heat race, 25 laps to settle the score here in Lakeland, as we see Tom Wetmore already looks to be on the track. Ethan Lane is as well, and Lane leading those who are already set up to get going. Guys get geared up one more time. Nicholas Ward on the track now. Nick Terablich there. Thomas Bresci gonna load right in as well. And everyone coming into frame. And some of these guys not having all too much experience with the track. Guys get the paint schemes loaded in here. Training paint's having a bit of an issue. A lot of guys in a clustered space. And iRacing rendering them all oh so close. The distances very short. And now time to see how they hit the pavement. A short track this short always brings out tempers, always brings out chaotic moments. Every driver here, well, they know it. And Ethan Lane going to lead a field of incredibly competitive, incredibly close drivers in terms of pace down to the stripe. Looks like Wetmore not on the track right now. Entirety of the field. And it looks like for this heat, it will be an entirety of 32 drivers are entered in. That is a shocker. As Ethan Lane going to hit the bricks and hit the pavement. First position here tonight. As we get things set up, it looks like a few guys going to despawn for only a moment. Alan Dobbs in third. Nicholas Ward is in fifth. And Ethan Lane back in frame there. Everyone's still getting ready to put this show on the road. Looking all the way back, it looks like 32nd position is Chad Dillon with Casey Shue, Stan Carnathan in the 97 machine, debuting here tonight in an exhibition event. Randy Fiash there as well, Luis Caballero, Victor Avila Felix, Kevin Matz, Matt Jonas, Boris Smith there, Kyle Cooper in the 20th spot, Don Stevenson in the 13th. Looks like Ethan Lane's paint scheme loading in as we speak, and Tom Wetmore right beside him in the number 51 of the pace truck will be leading this time through. And as the pace truck gets on its way, the driver of the number 51 machine, Tom Wetmore, there with the number 26 M&Ms of Ethan Lane. And Lane already out in front. Alan Dobbs, we saw Dobbs start up front last night, able to come home in the top 10. Tonight he's starting up front as well. And the 05 looking to give him hell once again. This time, he might just have a chance of keeping it up all the way. He was able to recover. We saw very early on involved in an incident, got himself in the back of the pack, but eventually able to redeem himself, make the moves back up front, and eventually score a top 10 finish to start the Ignite Series. The Octane Series points-paying events do not start just yet. Still have 2 Tuesdays from now until we get that show underway. And 1 lap until we hit the green flag for the first time here in Lakeland. And USA International Speedway has been shut down and actually was demolished in 2008. This track has not existed in the real world for 15 years in iRacing. The most detailed preservation of an incredible track with incredible character driving here. It's like no other track on the iRacing service. No other track in the world. A 3/4 mile short track with character inside and out. Ethan Lane going to be the character to lead us to the green flag for the first time in tonight's going. This is the InterSeries Exhibition here in the Integrity Racing League. $20 to the winner, $10 to first place, and $5 the man who sits on the final spot of the podium. The pace truck going to go in, and Ethan Lane will be right there with Tom Wetmore. Coming down the straight, green flag is out. Let's go racing, led by Ethan Lane. And the ticker going to have a few empty bars here. A lot of guys who are entered are not going to be in this first heat. It is going to be a total of 32 drivers fighting to get into this first segment of the main event. 10 drivers advance in this race. It looks at the transfer spot going to be held right now. Thomas Bressy, Brad Patton fighting for it. It looks like Bressy going to have a bit of an edge there as the entire field rolls down. We got one in the wall. It looks like it's Rawell, and we're going to have a yellow flag immediately. Back of the field, the 43 machine gets involved on its way. Rawell is in the spam, number 43, caught up in the first incident of the night. Let's loop it back about a half minute's time and see what's going on for the driver of the 43. Going into turns 3 and 4, they're just a bit of a close call. He's got the 27 right beside him there. He just gets a bit squirrely coming off, and that looks like it's going to be a single car incident. The 43 bounces off the wall in a big hit for Rawell. That 43 Super gets back on its way. Not without incident, not without injury, and no fast repairs here as well. It might be a for-fun event, but you got to keep yourself competitive without any assistance. Rawell going to be hurt big time. He's going to be in the back of the field. Ethan Lane leads us through nonetheless. And Lane leading us to the third lap. Not a lot of green flag laps right now. And one of the drivers in the mix here, Jacob Fife in the number 36 machine. And it looks like for the second week running, we have an onboard perspective from the driver of the 36 machine. And it's going to be a little bit interesting. How about you take a look at the driver of the 36, and that is Jacob Fife getting a read on his onboard right now. We're going to show it to you as soon as we have a clear-cut communication with his service. It's a great look, and it's not going to be the same as what we've seen before. And of course, last night it was Thomas Bressy in his VR perspective. But here's a look inside the house of Jacob Fife. And you can see he's all suited up for tonight's event, the 36 with the racing gear and the gloves on the steering wheel. And he's taking it as if it is the big time here for Pro Powder and Paint, the driver of the 36 machine, representing his sponsor. And he's got the racing gear to prove he's not playing the games tonight. He was here to win. He's here to win well. The driver of the 36 right now is position number 6. 36 machine on the move here. Jacob Fife is in that car. We're going to get back to the green in about 2 laps time. Just an inside look with Jacob Fife in number 36. He is still on his way rolling as we get back to the live feed. Live on FDN. If you enjoy the action, we're just getting started here. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That's 5 laps in out of 25 on what is the first exhibition race we've seen all season long. The possibility for more, it is still there, but I believe this will be a one and done here as these guys get to know each other, getting acclimated with the two leagues for the first time here. Integrity Ignite Series on Mondays, Octane Series on Tuesdays, and it's going to be a lot of great racing from both parties as Ethan Lane leading Tom Wetmore here down to the stripe once again. It looks like the top two drivers are already double file. And from there on out, we will get to the show. Nothing stopping these guys as they go down into the first turn once again. Lane and Wetmore, top two Toyotas up front, then two Camaros. It looks like the top two guys are the only ones who are double file at the moment as they wait for everyone to get situated. And looks like we still have some guys in the back of the pack not up with the front runners, although it looks like every driver within 8 seconds of your leader. Going to be Randy Fiash there in the 30th spot on the board. And it looks like right behind him, nobody. Chad Dillon going to be in front. Stan Carnathan there as well. Luis Caballero, Victor Avila, Kevin Matz. The guys in the back half, they still have a great chance at this victory. As Ethan Lane still going to lead him through. And this time by, we do indeed go double file. It looks like 30 drivers left on the track now, fighting for 10 transfer positions. And I'm not sure, given that I think the entirety of this field is now driving in this one heat, that all the 25 drivers are going to be able to make it automatically. Well, that is possible. I don't believe that is the case. We might have our second heat skipped as a result of not being able to fill it up, and we will have a consolation race for drivers outside, which means it might be 15 drivers put into the main event as a result. iRacing has done things like that before. We've actually seen it at a short track beforehand. Nashville Fairgrounds IORA Cup Series, they weren't able to get enough attendance for the second heat, and the field got shortened big time. Chase Schaefer came home with a victory last the first 3 restarts. As Ethan Lane jumps the restart perfectly, and now he's back on his way. Restart number 1. Let's get it started. Lane's got a great advantage. And Ethan Lane on a tear. Can this kid do anything wrong? I'm not sure. We of course saw him at Daytona, not able to get the consolation spot, did not put a qualifying lap in. He scores the 44th position driver in that event. 91 machine Caballero on the outside of Kevin Matz now. Matz is holding on the inside. It looks like double file about as big as you can go. If you go just a bit up front of the pack, Boomer Logan there. 94 machine Ross Cato there as well. And Cato gonna watch the 27, gonna go right around. And it looks like the caution will be out once again. David Mayberry involved. And Mayberry goes down to 30th and last. So let's find out what happened. The driver of the number 27, he's already backed it down. You will see as he gets it back on its way. The 27 doesn't have all too much damage. He's already wrecked by this point. And it looks like he might have just got shipped into this point. He goes down to the inside line and does not see the 73s there. And they just make contact there. And that is involving the 73, Kyle Cooper. Just a bit of a miscalculation on the 27's end. And Mayberry all the way around. And he may still have a shot to keep himself in racing contention, but 30th and last as we speak, and he just gets himself right back up. He does have some rear end damage. Doesn't appear to be crucial. He'll keep it on his way as Ethan Lane is still leading this show. The dominating run so far. 10 laps in out of 25. Nobody's been on his style so far. Looks like he is the man to beat in this race. A great race ran so far. And this is an exhibition event for everyone checking in, stopping by, seeing how it goes. Thank you for stopping by. This is not the start of the Octane Series season. However, a lot of Octane guys tuning in for tonight's event as drivers, hopefully, and absolutely, they are on the track right now. 11 laps in, halfway through, we have a field of 30 drivers from the Integrity Racing League putting on their best performance here at Lakeland. I think it's the first time and only time this season, this year, they will take on this 3/4 of a mile racing surface. They're competing to their fullest extent, even if it is a one and done in this league. Still, wait for the drivers to get back at it. Double file this time by once again, and we should be putting it into 2 laps to green. Now, however, might be able to put it to 1 to green this time by. Every single driver in the field seems to be connected with one another. Kalen Haight in 9th position right now, right beside Brad Patton and Tony Pressey, right in front of the both of them. Blake Gordon in the 11th spot right now, and Nick Tarabuch there as well in the number 29 machine. As Nicholas Ward is in the first car. When it comes to the numerical value, number 1 machine is in position number 6, as Jacob Fife has made his way up into 5th. 12 laps in out of 25, halfway through our first heat of the night. In our second heat, Not sure if it's going to happen now. We'll take a quick look when we have a break and see whether or not it is going to be skipped due to the entirety of the grid here being put onto heat number 1. However, 10 spots up for grabs as we get to our 13th lap here, and we have now a total of 12 laps remaining in green flag time, and 13 overall remain. Still led by Ethan Lane, and Lane goes up to the high side here. He's going to give Tom Wetmore a shot on the inside, and the inside's been oh so dominant with Ethan Lane on it. Can anyone catch up to him? Maybe Wetmore has a chance. We saw Wetmore was just a few thousandths of a second away in qualifying. He's only a few thousandths of a second away in the race. Their best laps separated by only 21 thousandths so far, and with not a lot of green flag time, that could mean all the difference in a race like this. Lane on the outside gets another great start, and it's going to be Tom Wetmore trying to pick up the scraps. Green flag is out once again. Restart 2, and already the 26 machine has a dominating start. Commanding he is as Tom Wetmore's right behind him. Alan Dobbs holding on to third, side by side, about 4 rows deep. Looks like they're all stacked together. Blake Gordon there as well. Don Stevenson right behind him. Guillermo Alvarez, Brandon Bernhardt, and right beside it's going to be Cody Smith now as Smith makes his way into the back and makes himself known as they're just about 3 wide here at Lakeland. That is impressive. Down to the inside, Blake Gordon, and he's going to have to give, and it's going to be a big give there for the 48 as he touches another driver. Caitlin Haight goes around, and now we have a caution again. Haight able to save it. Not a lot of drivers going to be able to touch the 11 machine, and Haight back on the way. And a 360 in front of the field at Lakeland usually means a lot worse than what we just saw. Haight does not have a lot of damage, and she's going to be almost entirely unscathed there. Let's get an instant replay and find out what happened to the 11 there. It's going to be a big dive. Blake Gordon there as well, and Gordon might have just made a tap, and that is indeed what happened. The 11 machine goes right around front of the field. Nobody going to get damage from that one as everyone gets on their way. Ross Cato actually might have gotten a bit of a wall scrape. Cody Griffin has a lot of damage on his number 3 machine. And either way, Caitlin Haight having a great run so far. And now it's going to be put to waste. Down in 23rd and no damage. There's a shot to race back up. There is 10 laps to go. The first heat has been dominated by one driver, and that one is Ethan Lane. Tom Wetmore in second, and Alan Dobbs in third, with Jacob Fife in fourth, and Nicholas Ward in position number 5. And it looks like right now, these guys up front, they're just able to hold it up front. USA International Speedway, in most cases anyway, is not necessarily one of these tracks that you see guys oh so close to the front, they just stay up there. It's always about passing, always about using different lines, but with all the cautions we've had, if you're able to avoid a caution, you're basically able to avoid relegation to a worse position. And a guy like Ethan Lane knows it. He just gets those great restarts. He's able to hold on for a lap or two. He just keeps the spot. He perhaps could keep the victory 17 laps in. Might be able to make it happen that way. Tom Wetmore right behind him on the move as well. Alan Dobbs there, Jacob Fife right behind him, Nicholas Ward in the mix, Nick Tarabuch there as well, and Thomas Bresci is in 7th. The iRacing pace truck now will lead a sea of Xfinity Series cars down to the stripe once more. Looks like right now only 2 retirees, Stan Carnathan and Farrell Ryan look to be those guys. Ryan not on the track, Carnathan is not either. David Mayberry in the 20th spot is the final driver who looks to be on the racing surface here. 27 machine. He is now at position 28. Alan Rowell is in 27. We saw him involved in the first caution. Randy Fiash looks to not have much damage on that car, so back in the field no matter the circumstance. Cody Griffin with a lot of front end damage at a track where aerodynamics don't matter all too much. You might say that car is just a bit too banged up to compete. Caitlin Haight back there as well. She got caught up in that last caution. Not a lot of damage, if any. Ross Cato with some damage. He is in 16th. We saw him take a bit of a wall scrape and take a closer examination. You don't see the scuff marks. We definitely saw him get close up the wall. If there was any contact, it was minimal. 7 laps to go. And it's Ethan Lane and Tom Wetmore front row here in the Lakeland. USA International Speedway, and Florida has some of the greatest short tracks that we've seen in all of asphalt pavement racing. And this is one of them in its virtual form especially. Ethan Lane able to get this great restart once again. It looks like it's always timed perfect for the 26 machine. Green flags out once again, and Lane leads from Tom Wetmore and Jacob Fife. Fife battling his way back into the 3rd position now. Might be able to go up to the high side and get that 2nd spot. Really impressive drive from the driver to the 36. And Fife now on the move like it's nothing. Alan Dobbs in the midst of it as well. You can see these guys up front. They're fighting like it's nothing. And up front still, they're able to hold on to it. 5 laps to go. How about we bowl and go and see the onboard from Jacob Fife. And take a look at that headset cam. Cautions out, and it looks like we will have yet another incident to take a look at. And it's going to be a big one involving Ross Cato. He's got some front end damage, that's for sure. David Mayberry looks to be back up there. Victor Avalafurix looks to have some damage as well. Let's take a quick look and see what we missed. 17 Machine trying to back up on Caitlin Haight there, and Haight has a driver trying to get a move on. And a 28 there, and that's going to be a big wiggle, and the 17 just goes on the wall himself. And that's going to be an incident separate to what happened here, as Ross Cato absolutely does get involved in a separate incident at about the same time. Rewinding the clock on it once again, trying to see what happened to the driver of the 12, which is a different story. And the 12 just has Boomer Logan go almost entirely around the 25, gets the worst of it. And Logan able to get out of it for the most part. And the 94 Machine almost gets caught up in the mix. And they get back on their way. Still waiting to get back at it. 3 laps to go. I do not believe we have an overtime finish for a heat race. I would be shocked if we do. Right now, it still looks like the calculations are showing we will not go into overtime. That will be determined in about a lap's time. Whether or not we get that green-white checkered finish up to iRacing, the servers generally determine that. It's predetermined by league owners. Heat races, they're very short, 25 laps to send 10 guys into the field. I don't believe there is a reason to have these guys put in an overtime finish. It's going to be heartbreaking for the guys on the outside of the bubble here to transfer. But I think that's just the way it's going to go here. It looks like the last driver to transfer will be Don Stevenson if everything is shaken out correctly right now. And no, we will have a green-white checkered as everyone double file once again. Ethan Lane going to still lead them through. And this time, with 3 laps to go, it will reset one more time, and we should have a total of 27 laps. And it will be to final and send us in to the second heat and the first. And that is who we get the first heat. Included to the second heat. I'm not sure. It looks like all 32 drivers who registered were placed into this heat. And only 28 drivers are on the track right now. Stan Carnathan and Farrell Ryan are the retirees of this event. And unless we do get that consolation event, they will not have an opportunity to make it to the main. Victor Avalafurix, the final driver in the race that is still going. And double file we go one more time. Ethan Lane having a great run so far. How will we watch this one? With Jacob Fife in the mix. I do believe that our other onboard driver for the night in Boomer Logan will be relegated to the consolation race. We'll watch his onboard there. Still, it is Jacob Fife in the 36. On the move. Let's watch his onboard perspective here and find out how it is inside the number 36 machine on a restart to determine who makes it in and who doesn't make the cut. So we're going to watch it. The base truck is in, and Jacob Fife going to be in the 3rd spot. Ethan Lane gets a great start, and we're green one more time. Green, white, checkered is out. And this could be the end. Next flag ends, and if we get to the white flag, Ethan Lane making a great start on board with Jacob Fife. You can see Fife's hand camera making a lot of wiggles there. He's going to be able to avoid almost a wreck there. Fife gets the move on him, and Alan Dobbs wiggles as a result. We're back to the yellow once again. And we have yet another yellow. Kevin Matz involved. And we'll send it back to the live feed, find out just what happened. As we do have a time limit on this race, we are not close to approaching it. However, Fife back on to pace mode, and we'll try to get a live feed of him once again whenever we get this race back in the mix. However, once more, it is Kevin Matz involved in an incident there. Let's send it back about 40 seconds and see what happened. As Matz comes down to the inside line, Caitlin Haight going to go around in front of the field there, and Matz going to be the only driver to get some big contact. David Mayberry able to stop, but Matz does get a hit on Caitlin Haight, spinning in front of the field, and Haight able to get away with minimum damage once again. And Matt's getting the worst of it just a bit on the front. Back to the front of the field, to be exact, is Ethan Lane leading the remainder of these drivers. Nobody else on the level of the 26 machine all race long. Been like magic. The driver in that 26 of Ethan Lane. And There's got to be something that's going to stop him, but we are not finding that anytime soon. The 26 has been on a tear, and he is going to lead us through once more. Lap 30, we will go past 30 in our first 25-lap heat. These green-white checkers will extend this event. And with 3 laps remaining here, we're going to find out what it takes to be one of these guys up front, pushing toward the edge of it, trying to get the victory in this heat. Now or never for some of these guys. These guys like Wetmore. Someone like Ethan Lane, of course. Alan Dobbs is still up there. Jacob Fife is as well. You're up here. You've got a great chance of just keeping yourself up here no matter what happens. Which might just be best to stick out and go along for the ride. If you're in the position, the guy like the number 26 machine is. Lane still by a mile here up front. Every single time they're able to pull out, he pulls away like nothing's wrong. Tom Wetmore in second, Alan Dobbs in third, Jacob Fife is in fourth, Nick Terablich in fifth, Blake Gordon in spot number 5. Now going to be looped up to 6th. Nobody takes the outside line. Jacob Fife looks like he does now, and he will be lined up right behind your race leader. Fastest 4 set once again. It's going to be Ethan Lane on the high side, Tom Wetmore on the inside. Alan Dobbs and Jacob Fife third and fourth. Dobbs does have that rear end damage. We saw him get into the wall just a bit, smack it up. Nonetheless, driver of the 05 machine has something going on. He's going to get almost up there to Tom Wetmore. Now, it's all about going 100% if you're up front and see if these guys just don't hold on. If they don't hold on, once again, I think we'll get our third and final overtime attempt. Ethan Lane goes back at it once again. We are green once more. Second overtime attempt, and Lane gets a great start. Jacob Fife going to be side by side with Tom Wetmore here once again. And everyone's moving. One's going to go up behind the wall. It's going to be for Smith. Smith was in a lot of time there. Caution's out. And you could see he was sliding up to the wall, and it just didn't seem like it was going to stick. Yellow flag is out once more. Let's send it back because he definitely saw Smith, got himself involved in something. Whatever it was, it just didn't work out. The driver of the 84 involved there. He just drifts up to the high side. And he does actually almost keep a hold locked down on it. And that he does. Yellow flag is out either way. An impressive save to keep it in one piece and not drift down. But a precautionary decision there from the driver of the 84 machine. And back on our way, Ethan Lane still leading us through. As we head back and the checkered flag is out, Ethan Lane will win heat number 1. And the final driver to advance is Brad Patton. Guillermo Alvarez will be the first driver out. Boomer Logan will be out as well. And the 31 machine, according to time, is going that 94. Not going to be able to make it. And Ethan Lane gets that one in style now, I believe. And we're going to take a quick check to make sure that is the case. This should be the consolation event. We will take a quick look, make sure that is indeed the case, and see if this is, yes it is, 20 laps, 15 drivers it was, and now it looks to be up to 22 drivers going for the final 5 spots, and we will get that back on your way. This is the consolation race. Heat 2 has been skipped, and Guillermo Alvarez will be lining up side by side with Boomer Logan. We get things settled in once again. How about that? We are getting underway, making sure the intermission card works proper. Reset your timing and scoring charts because every driver on the field, much different from what we saw just a few seconds ago, as every driver who was not able to make it in after that first 10 got cut off. Well, now we should have a 15-car main event, and it will be Boomer Logan on the outside of that front row alongside Guillermo Alvarez. Getting it back underway. 20 laps to decide the winner of this heat. And while it is a second heat, less drivers will be able to get in, and less drivers in this one. And of course the first heat, still a few more than what we expected overall. We're going to put the camera here on Boomer Logan, get a read on the driver of the 94 and see how he's doing. Looks like he is suited up as well for tonight's event. Taking a quick look at Boomer Logan as we have just a bit of time here. The driver of the 94 machine suited up as well. And Logan looking ready to put on a great show for the National Guard number 94 machine. As now we see Jacob Fife and now we see Boomer Logan in a similar outfit, pushing himself to the limit, all suited up and all ready to get racing. Let's send it back to the live feed. They'll get it back performing. These guys are going to do it, and Guillermo Alvarez, 1 lap to do and die. Some of these guys are going to have cars that wreck. The race will begin then and there. It looks like we jumped the gun just a bit. It looks like the pace car is going to be given an extended stay. That happens sometimes on short track, so that is our apology on that one. That was a quick moment where we just thought the race was going to go. And 22 drivers getting geared up for this event. We are set. Great group. Go at it once more. And Logan, one of the few guys in this one, pushing a different number. The 31 according to timing scoring, so another driver is in the 94, and that not appear to be a driver in this segment. Guillermo Alvarez, the driver to beat on that start. Great one, and we're back underway. Top 5 drivers get into the main event. And this main event is going to be pretty exclusive. Only, I think, 15 drivers will be eligible for it as a result of the first heat being the only heat for a lot of these guys. You see in the back of the pack, everyone able to string themselves out. If you're outside of that top 6, top 7, shots are going to be slim. Caution's already out. 71 machine involved big time. They're all going to nag into one another. A big knock-up. The 71 goes all the way into one of these guys. Looks like it's Jorge Canales. And the 71, one of the first drivers involved in an instant. Let's get an instant replay and see what happened. And the 71 started this race in third. Cody Griffin right behind him. And gets a bit of a tag there. And going down into the third and fourth turn, he just gets drifted off of the track and able to send himself back in. And tags one of the driver, gets 2 of the drivers. And a few guys are wrecking as a result. And that is all she wrote there. 2 laps in out of 20. First caution is out. Guillermo Alvarez leads with Boomer Logan there. Jorge Canales, Brandon Bernhardt, Cody Griffin. And everyone gets cycled through once again. Alvarez leading for Boomer Logan still. With 3 in out of 20, this heat is not necessarily heats we were used to. As Alvarez, Logan, Griffin, and Bernhardt are some of the guys from the first. And if it was, of course, proportional, and they were in the second heat, they definitely would have been in the show. But 1 heat for tonight's event as a result of maybe too few guys. And nonetheless, Alvarez leads the consolation race. The 83 machine side by side with Boomer Logan once again as we get a reset on the timing and scoring materials here. And Logan in second. Top 5 guys do indeed make it to the 75 lap main event. They're all hoping to make it there, that's for certain. And double file they will be for 1 more lap before the race gets back underway. And apologies for the quick breaks there, just making sure everything's right behind the scenes. Alvarez first, Boomer Logan is in second, and Cody Griffin is in third. And looks like not a lot of guys we can talk to right now, and we will see some of these guys who are locked in are able for comment or available for a comment. Looks like winner of the heat last time through, Ethan Lane, is not in the voice chat. Won't be able to get a word from him. Waiting on the show to get back on the road here. Guillermo Alvarez, double file with Boomer Logan in second. Brandon Bernhardt in third and Cody Griffin in fourth. And they're all loaded up. Getting ready is the inside line. Going to be led once again by your race leader. I saw Ethan Lane in the first heat take it up to the high side, sometimes trying to get a better run off of the exit of turn 4. That's not going to be a choice that Guillermo Alvarez makes. Another great start for the race leader. Green flags out once again, and Alvarez leads him through. Boomer Logan sticking in second here, Cody Griffin in third. Double file after the top 2 drivers. And everyone able to hold on so far. Everyone in the back of the pack pushing to the limit, trying to keep themselves in contention here. And 6 laps out of 20. Big wiggle there for the 32 machine, going to go way high. David Mayberry in the back of the pack now. 32 is as well, Chad Dillon. Sending it, and Netcode's going to get the driver of the 11 machine not involved, but Randy Fiash is. And Netcode almost causing a caution there. Everyone able to hold on nonetheless. Still, everyone rolls on 7 laps in out of 20. Everyone seems to be able to keep it clean so far. And with the 83 machine leading now, Cody Griffin, Boomer Logan looks to be falling down the running order. As right behind him, Cody Smith, and Smith is charging hard. The battle for the treasure spot, however, is right behind Smith and Brandon Bernhardt. Kyle Cooper side by side trying to get to the main event as Boomer Logan goes spinning. Caution flag is out, and Logan's the cause. The 94 gets caught up in what looked like a single car incident gone wrong. 94 National Guard not able to guard the position and spins out as a result. Goes up way high that time by, no issue just yet. The next time through, 94 not able to hold on as they seem to just have an issue there. And up high, skating right up. And most of the field able to avoid it there. A few guys go to the apron, a few guys go way high. 75 is going to go around. 71 there goes around as a result. And either way, inconsequential for the most of these guys. Boomer Logan going to lose a lot of spots and fall out of the transfer position from a comfortable 3rd spot. Out of 5 now. Kyle Cooper, the final driver in. Janas, the final driver out. First now, 28 machine is in 6th. Kyle Cooper in 5th. Bernhardt 4th. Cody Smith in 3rd. And Cody Griffin in 2nd. Guillermo Alvarez has led every lap of this event so far. And leading the consolation race. Nobody on his level just yet. And treading the grass, the 83 machine is painting on the outside of the racing surface and right on the inside of the grass. And it looks like the 83 has just been able to keep this one on cruise control. Not a lot of pressure to be up front. If you're in those top 3 spots, you are going home cruising no matter what. Guys in 4th and 5th, and those guys back, they have a much harder race to run. You got all the competition behind you trying to make your way up into the main event. And with the consolation being entered in by every driver out of the top 10 in the first race. So many more drivers competing for so many spots that are going to be taken away by others. 5 spots on the table instead of 15 for these guys. And only a few drivers would go home if it was indeed a 15-car shootout. That is not the case. Guillermo Alvarez now goes side by side with Cody Griffin. And the iRacing pace truck leading them through with 2 laps to go again. Should have about 7 laps of green flag action. Keep this one going. The 83 goes up just a bit high. And 9 laps to go so far. Will become 8 laps to go when we come down to the stripe, and it will be 7 laps of green flag racing to get this one over with. Guillermo Alvarez waiting to get himself into the main event. He looks like he is the favorite to make it in from here. Cody Griffin there as well. Brandon Bernhardt in the 3rd spot. Cody Smith in 4th. Kyle Cooper position number 5. Luis Caballero in 7th. Ross Cato in 8th. And then Kalen Hayden, Victor Avila Felix there as well. The green flag is out right now. It's going to be led off by Guillermo Alvarez. Cody Griffin in 2nd and Brandon Bernhardt in 3rd. And they go back to the action. 8 laps remaining now. And it looks like they are in the mix just a bit early. And that time through, the 83 gets a much better run than the 3. The 3 able to hold on just a bit there. And they slice down to the inside. And once again, the Hendrick Cars 83 there on a move, on a tear. And going up to the high side and once more, stripe to stripe. These guys have been oh so close, oh so competitive. And Cody Smith now in 4th. Kyle Cooper is in 5th, but Cooper side by side. Ross Cato now in 5th. Cautions out once again. And looks like Chad Dillon in last. The Black Rifle coffee cutting machine going to go all the way around, and let's find out just what happened. It just recently happened. It looks like he's going to tap himself and then gets spun out by the 71 machine of Jorge Canales. And he gets moved. Chad Dillon in the 32. Big time moment there. He's going to get back on his way. In the 17th spot with a lot of damage. Dillon in a bit of trouble there. 6 laps remaining. This will be a very short run to the stripe. Everyone back out from 5th on back in a lot of jeopardy. Anyone back there can make it into the main event. It's just a matter of how they do it. 6 laps remain to determine the final 5 drivers to enter the main race here. as it will become less than that. I believe it will become about a 4, 5, maybe 3-lap shootout to finish this one off, if not just a bit more, as we are waiting to get back to the double file procedure. 1 lap to green when the pace car lights are off. So far, of course, they are on, and all 17 drivers took the green flag, are still racing in this one. And 20 laps here, very short event. Guys able to hold on quite nicely, only a few cautions overall. First heat certainly had its fair share of yellows. Guys right now not going to be all about keeping it safe when they know they're pushing for a prize here. $20, no points on the table. Do or die now. All about doing or dying at the greatest points in your race. Some of these guys are going to risk their cars. Some of these guys are going to risk the car even coming back. There is a chance it becomes terminal damage. And right now, not a lot of guys appear to be worried just about that. Has 4 laps to do it. Ross Cato in the 6th spot now. Kyle Cooper, the final driver in with Brandon Bernhardt. And everyone here is in jeopardy of missing out on the main, as it looks like Cody Smith getting himself up there as well. Smith, Cooper side by side. Ross Cato in the 6th spot. The first man outside of the big picture here, and not being able to make it is going to be a big thing if you want that main prize. $20, 10 to second. There is a prize pool. Even if you don't win in the main event, you still have a benefit and also have an incentive to make it all the way. Still, double file now. The driver of the number 83 machine going to lead. Cody Griffin, Brandon Bernhardt there. Cody Smith in the mist, and Kyle Cooper in position number 5. Ross Cato there as well, and these guys in the front rows, they have the best shot at making it, but it's anyone's game with a green-white checkered that appears to be natural, and it will be a 20-lap race concluded. The green-white checkered. If you enjoy the action, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. A bit of a shorter event than what we are used to doing here. We are kicking things off in the right way. Certainly going to be one more pre-race event, pre-season event before we get a great season on its way. Green-white checkered. Going to start there. Great start for Guillermo Alvarez. We're back underway, led by the 83. And Griffin on pursuit. Brandon Bernhardt currently in position number 3, and there is going to be Cody Smith in 4th, Kyle Cooper in 5th, Ross Cato there as well, Caitlin Hayek in the mix as well, and 2 laps to go. This is do or die now. If they come down the stripe, the next flag will end it. And Guillermo Alvarez still going to lead him. 1 lap to go here at Daytona, and it's still Boomer Logan going to go right around. It's going to end his chances. Alvarez, 83 machine in the mix here. Cody Griffin there as well. Brandon Bernhardt still in there. And it looks like Alvarez, Griffin going to be able to make it comfortably if they don't mess up from here on out. Kyle Cooper going to be the 5th driver. He's going to go high there. Going to be side by side coming to the stripe. Going to be a drag race. Guillermo Alvarez wins. Griffin's able to hold on. And Kyle Cooper gets the last transfer spot. Unbelievable. And he just about lost it on the tail end, Cody Griffin. And it looked like Kyle Cooper just about lost that spot, and that is a consolation race won by Guillermo Alvarez. That is your field. 5 minutes warm up here. How about we talk to some of these drivers and see how they are feeling after this event, of course after these 2 heats, and see who is eligible. We are waiting for warm-up 10. Not a lot of guys on the track, so how will we get a word for one of these guys in the main event? And trying to get communication with one of these guys, it looks like the first of the guys we will talk to is going to be the driver of how about the 36 machine. Looks like Jacob Fife, not currently on the racing service, and we'll try to get a read on his car later on into the broadcast. The first man we will talk to is the 36 of Jacob Fife. See what he's doing so far. Comfortably in the main event as we get things rolling. The 75 lap main, and I'm not sure will be just 15 drivers making it in, but I believe that is the case here. And one of the guys able to make it in quite comfortably. It is the 36 machine of Jacob Fife, all suited up for tonight's event. How you doing as we get this thing started in just a few minutes time?
I'm hot. It's a little hotter in this thing. No, I mean, I love racing here. It's a fun track to race at. So hopefully our feature will be a little bit calmer than our heat race and consolation races were. A little bit more of a wreck fest than they should be. But, yeah, it should be a fun track. I really hope we get some good racing in here. and have some nice battles for the 25 guys and gals who made the feature.
And absolutely looking forward to some great battles here as the consolation going to get extended. It will be 25 drivers going for the victory in 75 laps here, so going to be much longer than the heat races and the consolation race as well, but still going to be a pretty short distance. So how's it going to be when it comes to, I guess, strategy, but at the same time a fun race? So what's it really going to take to get the victory?
Yeah, I mean, if we're able to get a longer green flag run, you're going to really have to watch your right rear for sure. The right rear burns off pretty easy here if you're not working the throttle right. So that's going to be a big deal. And then just pacing yourself. You do have to conserve your tires here. You can't just go flat out. Unless maybe you're Ethan. He seems to be pretty good right now. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I think probably we'll pit at one point during the race to get a new set of tires, depending on how strategy works. Maybe twice, but. Yeah, should be a fun race, and just going to have to kind of pace yourself, I think.
Certainly looking forward to a fun one here, and as we get it started in just about 2 minutes' time, any final thoughts before we get back to the broadcast here?
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
I'm not sure if you read us there. Any final thoughts?
Oh, sorry. I thought no, I did. I got the admin chat going in the background. No, it just should be a fun race. Thank you guys for broadcasting tonight. Hopefully, give you a good show. And really looking forward to getting to the feature, and then obviously towards the regular season here next week or so. So it'll be a fun time.
Absolutely. The regular season going to be on its way very soon. Jacob Fife lining up in the main event. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Dragging right back into the voice chat that he's in, and we will get it on our way. 1 minute and 38 seconds remain here on the charts. And we try to get to talk with the driver who is leading practice so far. Of course, looks like right now that driver will be Tom Wetmore in the 51 machine. We haven't been able to talk to him. He had a great run in his heat, able to make it in from that first heat, not having to go through the consolation. The driver of the 51 machine looking to have a great edge going into this race. Try to get him in as we speak. The driver of the number 51, Tom Wetmore, top of the board here in practice. And 75 laps of action coming straight your way. You were very, very quick. The heat that you were in, now it's all about the long run. How's it going to be?
Man, it's going to be something else in this Tube Tech Toyota Supra to try to hang with some of these fast guys up here. But learned a lot about Ethan, learned a lot about Dobbs and Fife, some of these quicker guys. And I tell you what, I think we got one for him tonight.
And certainly looking quick. We saw you, of course, up front. I believe you did finish second in that first heat. So you're going to be lining up quite well into the main event and 75 laps to do it. So do you think there's going to be any strategy, or is it all about holding your own and making sure you avoid the chaos?
Well, learning a little bit in these heats, it appears you don't want to fall too far back. In case we end up getting into a little bit of mischief, we got Rob and Steele attorneys at law on board tonight to try to get us out of any trouble we might get into in the middle of the pack. But the idea is going to be hopefully to stay up front, stay out of the trouble, but at the same token, try to conserve, save a little bit of these 4 Goodyear tires and take care of the race car, because if you can't get to the end, you sure as heck can't win this thing.
And that is for certain prize pool. Also, in effect here, going to be 20 to the winner, 10 to second, 5 to third, and 5 to any random finisher. So still eligible no matter what for a prize if you're racing into this one. And we're going to get gridding right now, so any final thoughts before we get to the show?
Yeah, just looking forward to this one tonight. Got to thank a couple viewers out there. We got Ty Drifts on board, and as well as a couple boys out of Atlanta, Georgia, Garage Moon Power cheering us on. So looking forward to see if we can put together a good finish for him. Thanks,
Absolutely. Man. And it's going to be Tom Wetmore in the number 51 machine lining up second on the board here for the 75 lap main feature. Thank you for your time. Dragging right back into his voice chat there. The 75 machine is not on the track, but we do indeed have 75 laps to go. It's Ethan Lane already up front, and Lane has been on it all race day long. Of course, not a lot that comes into this race game, but either way, 26 machine might just be the one to beat. 75 laps to go. The first lap coming to you in just a few moments' time as we look throughout the entirety of the field. 25 drivers. David Mayberry, as a matter of fact, going to be the final driver in, as they are going to extend it 10 cars deeper. You believe very few drivers going to go home. Just about 5 or 6 not going to be able to make it there. The wreck for Boomer Logan got him down and out as a result, and he will not be able to make it alongside, I believe, others that we're not able to calculate right now, as the guys in the back of the field, guys and girls in the back of the field in that consolation race won't be able to go through. I do not see drivers like Caitlin Haight in the mix as well. We are getting stacked up once again. Ethan Lane, 26 machine, top of the board. Tom Wetmore in second. And first and second in that first row of the grid. And Jacob Fife right behind him. Blake Gordon, fourth spot. Alan Dobbs is in fifth. Nick Tarabuch in sixth. Thomas Pressey is in seventh. Nicholas Ward is in eighth. As Fife will lead him home with a Triple P. That's going to be Pro Powder and Paint, proud sponsor of this event from Ashland, Virginia. Going to put him up on the screen there. I got to say, thanking them for the support in this event and this season. Looking forward to a great one. We get things started. Just elapsed time from here on out. Pro Powder and Paint of Ashland, Virginia. Jacob Fife representing them well, currently third spot on the board. And Blake Gordon right beside him. The number 48 Endeavor Racing Machine. Great run for Blake Gordon last night, able to make a great impression. And now trying to make himself 2 for 2 on great races in this Xfinity Series machine. A lot of these guys are Octane drivers. They do run the next gens, but a lot of these guys as well are in the Ignite Series, which runs these NASCAR Xfinity machines. So a different group of drivers, leading, of course, the guys with the advantage in the Xfinity cars. One of those Xfinity boys, the Ignite driver Ethan Lane, leading them through to the start of this race. Green flags out for the InterSeries Exhibition main event, and we are rolling in Lakeland. And the inside line going to be taken by Ethan Lane. He has the edge already. One lap in at a 75 side by side for third. Jacob Fife with Blake Gordon right now, and they are double file for this third spot already. Racing getting intense. Right on board Blake Gordon, and you should be able to see Jacob Fife on the corner of his view. And right there he is, the outside line able to get that edge. Caution is out already. First caution of the night. It looks like Matt Johnnett's going to be involved in that one. George Canales, Chad Dillon in the mix as well, and these guys in the back of the field absolutely got caught up. Try to check back half a minute here, and you can see the 71 machine 28 goes around as well, and Mayberry gets involved, and a few drivers in the back of the pack just not able to keep it straight there. And now we head back to the green flag. Big time incident there. Involved multiple drivers, almost takes one out there, and Canales, one of the few drivers, gets really bad damage from that one. It's Ethan Lane still leads him through 3 laps in at a 75. Chaos already coming to play here in Lakeland. A lot more time remaining until the show gets back on the road. Ethan Lane leading the first green flag lap. Jacob Fife in third with Tom Wetmore still beside the number 26. Lane leading the way already and getting his first big break in terms of strategy. He could be able to hold on all race long, just keep those tires. Even if they get just a bit old, it's not going to matter all too much, and we continue to have yellows like that. As yet another early yellow, early in, of course. This event, 4 laps in at a 75, regardless of the yellow flag laps do count. Not like the Clash. The off-season events that we saw beforehand did not have yellow flag laps that counted. Here, Lakeland, they do. That will speed up the pace of this race that much more, as we see driver Cody Griffin right there with Brandon Bernhardt in the 4 machine. Cody Smith there as well in the 73. Going to be Kyle Cooper mix. Cooper's 73 and Cody Smith now the 25. Ethan Lane leading the way in the number 26. Nonetheless, in this time by, they should go double file, and that it appears they will not. Not at the very least for the single file procedure we've seen beforehand. And we wait either way. See, when we go back 1 lap to green, we still have just a bit of time before we hit that mark. Ross Cato now in the 16th spot. Killen Haight is actually now in the 15th position. All these guys and girls shuffling themselves up to the front of the field. Victor Avila Felix there as well. It is Luis Caballero, 19th, with Alan Rowell behind him in position number 20. David Mayberry is in 21st. Chad Dillon is in 22nd. And Guillermo Alvarez is in 23rd with George Canales is in 24th. Matt Jonas now 4 laps down following that incident, and he gets the worst of the damage, it appears. And Lane leading them now 1 lap to green, and we will get back at it in lap 7 of 75. Certainly looking forward to a great one as these guys come down and around under yellow one more time, and then we put the show back on like nothing happened. First restart of the night. We still have a lot of racing to go here, as long as these guys keep it under green. Not going to be all too much racing, of course. It is under yellow for the most part, and that's just the way it goes sometimes here on iRacing. Seeing incidents, those cautions breed cautions. We've heard it before, we've seen it before. We'll see whether or not tonight is an example of just that. Lane, Tom Wetmore, Jacob Fife, and Lane going to get a great start once again. Green flags out once more. Lane lead him through. And already out front by a decent margin. Looks like Cody Griffin going to go 3 wide there in the back. In the back, someone's got to give it. It looks like someone did there. Double file now. The middle of the pack already getting very, very intense. Don Stevenson there as well. Every one of these drivers pushing at their wits' end. Blake Gordon there, Jacob Fife, Alan Dobbs, Thomas Bresci, Nick Tarabuch, Don Stevenson. Every one of these drivers in this main group are pushing. That's Ethan Lane. It's about a half a second advantage already, and he just has something under him and nobody can match. Wetmore in second. He's got a good margin as well. As it is, Jacob Fife now falling down the totem pole. He's on the outside line. Dobbs going to get squirrely once again. Thomas Bresci does as well, able to manhandle it through. But Fife falling down to the outside line, not able to keep that momentum up. And it was Blake Gordon in the third spot. Now, looking to go into second. He goes down to the inside line of Wetmore. Not able to make it happen that time by. The 51 able to close the door. Don Stevenson. Now the move made on Nick Tarabuch. Tarabuch going to fall down the order as well. But Dobbs might have to give. Jacob Fife has just been able to hold on magnificently, even though he's on the outside line. Tarabuch able to do the same now. While they do not have the preferential line, those guys on the outside, been able to make it happen as if nothing is wrong with that line. And Dobbs still on the inside. Caution flags out. Luis Caballero absolutely involved. A big time front end damage. Let's find out just what happened to 91. Finding out, taking a quick look. Guillermo Alvarez might have been involved in that one. He tried to take a wider angle shot at the back of the field and see who in specific got that damage. Looks like it was absolutely in the back of the field. However, not sure in specific who in it. It looks like Caitlin Hayden involved in that one. And Hayden gonna get a big rip there. 73 machine involved as well. And Hugh Drek, Kyle Cooper involved. Hayden not running out of room. Looks like they both did, as a matter of fact, not just one. And Hayden able to get out of it. Kyle Cooper gets a lot of damage. Big spin there. 73 My Chemical Romance machine getting back on the road as a 71 of Jorge Canales almost pulls up and wrecks as well. 12 in, out of 75. A few drivers coming down on pit road, but the leaders are staying up front and staying out of the pits. And Ethan Lane still holds on with 12 laps through. And not a lot of time we've seen so far. As Lane and Wetmore are 1 and 2. Blake Gordon there in third. Jacob Fife fourth. And Alan Dobbs P5. Bresci in sixth. Stevenson in seventh. Now looks like he's going to be side by side with Tarabuch. As Tarabuch takes seventh. Looks like they will be slotting in beside one another as we get back to the double file procedure. 2 at 29. Side by side. They still have a long time to wait until we get this one back underway. Alan Dobbs right now is in fifth in the 05 machine. Looks like we have just a bit of time. Can't get a dial up for the driver of the 26 machine. And Ethan Lane, it does not appear he is in a voice chat. How about we try to get a word from one of these drivers? Might have to wait until the next caution because these cautions are oh so short. All the caution laps here combined in one caution at Lakeland, at the very least, are equal to just about a lap and a half of a caution at Daytona. The laps at Daytona, they are very fast, so that sort of counteracts the long cautions. The cautions here are still very, very short. Still about 50-second caution laps. That's about as fast as a Daytona lap is on the green flag. Nonetheless, Ethan Lane leading them through. They go side by side again up front, and they are not double file just yet. Lane still leads with Tom Wetmore there, Blake Gordon in third, and Jacob Fife in fourth. 14 laps in, out of 75. It should be about lap 16 when we head back to the green flag. We're going to try to now get a word with the driver of the 48 machine, and that is Blake Gordon. Gordon right now running in the 48 car and the third position as well. How are you feeling as it looks like you're out running up front, keeping yourself out of danger so far?
I love this. I love short track racing, man. I'm having a blast tonight. These guys up here racing pretty hard, pretty clean though. Love it. Me and Jacob had a little battle there to get me clear into third, and then I tried to pull out a fake move on the 51, and he covered it nicely. So having a blast up here. This is awesome.
In the front of the pack, showing a lot of great action as we go 1 to green this time by, and we're going to have to send you back. Any final thoughts when it comes to the remainder of this race? We're just about 15 in so far.
Gonna try to conserve the right rear. I'd like to publicly apologize to the 11 for dumping her in the heat race. That was 1,000% my fault. So hopefully that doesn't come around to bite me later. But we'll see how it goes.
And absolutely going to see how it goes. Second row of the grid coming to the restart. It's a 48 machine. Blake Gordon, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Bring him right back into his voice chat there. The 48 on the move. You get back to it. Endeavor Racing represented there as Ethan Lane representing M&M and getting a great start once again. Green flags out. Another commanding start from the number 26. Double file. The remainder of the field is Don Stevenson going to try to send it in there on Cody Griffin. They're able to hold on. Double file. The 24 on the move as well. And everyone in the middle of this pack just able to keep themselves intact here. Side by side, Tara Butch is with Cody Griffin. Griffin holding on to the outside quite strong. And still, Caitlin Haight there. Cody Smith, double file, almost all the way through. Victor Avila Felix. Cody Smith seeing himself challenged. Side by side with Caitlin Haight. And Haight trying to go for position number 13. And running the outside, the number 11 Toyota machine is a lot of damage on the rear end, not slowing her down all too much. And you can see the gaping hole on that Toyota Supra's back end. A plate on that back bumper. It is gone. Ethan Lanes, however, seems to have a perfectly mint car. 18 laps in. This has been a bit quicker than the remainder of the races we've seen so far. We're almost a third of the way through already, like it is nothing. And Thomas Bresci now fighting with Alan Dobbs. Dobbs, double file. Thomas Bresci, this is for the 6th spot. Let's try to ride on board with the outside car. That's the 24. Should be able to see the inside car of Alan Dobbs on the same frame. And Bresci in now position number 6 as Alan Dobbs able to clear it. It appears they're still side by side, but oh so close you can't even see him on the rear view of it. Alan Dobbs still there. Now Nick Tarabuch going for it. The driver of that number 29 machine. Let's look on board. And you can see he's got 2 drivers right in front of him, but now trying to make a charge on the 24 himself. 29 taking care of business here. And looks like he might be able to make it happen there. Side by side, not clear just yet. Ethan Lane still clear of the field by about a second's worth on the timing charts. 05 leading over the 29 to the 24 thus far. Cody Griffin there as well. The Rowdy Machinery. Rowdy Energy Machinery of Don Stevenson just behind the 3. It's going to be Brad Patton behind as well in 10th and Nicholas Ward in 11th. A single file strung out all the way past 10th, all the way down to Ross Cato in position 24. As Cato is 1 lap down, it looks like Chad Dillon, on track at the very least, is behind him. Ethan Lane leading by a dominating margin, 23 in out of 75. Nobody on his level just yet, and he might be able to take this thing by himself. Tom Wetmore there with Blake Gordon, Jacob Fife. These 3 are under a blanket here as they continue to fight for their own battle. That is the fight for position number 2. Caution flag is out once again, and let's see what's going on here. As Ross Cato might have been involved. No, it's David Bayberry, and he burns it down and gets himself back on the way. 27 absolutely gets it all turned around. Let's see just what happened. And the Red Bull 27 losing just a bit of time. Looks like he gets squirrely there. He tries to block Ross Cato, and that he does. But gets it all the way on the outside line and goes around. Mayberry not going to have great luck here. And the 27 just not having a good one as he tries to get it 360, and that is indeed what he does to get it back on his way. Ross Cato able to get away from it by a wide margin. Now up with the 71. Ethan Lane still leads it. Alan Dobbs currently in position 4. Thomas Bresci, haven't been able to talk to him so far. He's in the 5th spot right now. How will we get a word as he looks to be doing good in the Exalta number 24. Let's see whether or not we're able to get him. 24 Machina, JT Motorsports right now representing them quite nicely right there within the top 5. Oh, so close to the front of the field. Might be able to have a chance. We saw him fighting up there, able to get the better of the guys he was fighting with, such as Tara Butch, and eventually keep himself relevant in this battle. It is the 24 machine of Thomas Bressi. And that car, the Exalta 24, handling well so far. It appeals, able to keep yourself in the top 5. How do you feel going into the remainder of this race, 25 laps in?
I'm just trying to survive, I feel like. I think we all are. It's slow going, unfortunately. But yeah, just trying to hang on. I'm curious to see what happens with those two guys, at least that were in front of me that just pitted, see if the tires really matter or if it's just going to be a track position game, because you know, we're hanging out under caution quite a bit, unfortunately. We're not doing a whole lot of racing, but a short track racing, as they would say. So, you know, just trying to have fun and hang in there and keep this thing as clean as I can, I suppose.
And it looks like tire strategy being experimented with, and it looks like that will give you a few spots. So, guys going into the back right now, but do you believe track position is the most important factor? Because it looks like most of the wrecks so far have been all the way in the back.
Yeah, that's something that Cody and I, my teammate, we've been talking about a little bit, just trying to figure out. We were trying to figure out, like, you know, would stopping once at halfway be worth it? Or, like, is there something we can do with the tires to maybe try and get it to, because the track's changing a lot as well. It's starting to get tight, and, like, all through practice, it was deadly loose. So it's going through a bit of a, you know, transition here as well. So I don't know. It's going to depend. If we keep having a bunch of cautions, then it makes it really hard to kind of make your way back up there on merit. If you have the tires or whatever, you kind of just have to hope for the best that you're, in the right lane, miss whatever's happening. But I don't know. We're still having a lot of cautions, so I feel like at least for now the track position is going to be better. But I guess time will tell.
Time will tell on that whether or not we do get some more green flag racing. A third of the way in already. We've seen some battles on the inside and outside line. What is the most preferable line, as a matter of fact, as we see guys choosing in and out time after time, it just becomes a bit of a different game. Playing it inside or outside, which is the best to go for competitive laps? Any final thoughts?
I think probably the bottom. The top has its moments, I think, but it's just like I got hung out on the top. It was just too tight, so it just kind of depends. But I think the bottom is probably still a little better overall.
And it looks like a lot to say. Battling on the high side, able to gain some spots back though. Risking it, some drivers do, but Thomas Bressi sticking with the track position. Thank you for your time.
Yep, have fun. See ya.
Dragging him right back in. The 24 machine on the move right now in the top 5. And Ethan Lane still leading the way here. Tom Wetmore in the second. Alan Dobbs in third, and Lane gets another great start. Nobody on his level. Green flag's out. It almost seems like he sees that green flag about a half second before anyone else does. What a start once again. Wetmore there as well on the inside line, and Jacob Fife is in third. Everyone in the middle of the pack right now holding on, as now Bressi might be able to hang out Alan Dobbs, but Dobbs gets to the inside line. The battle's going to continue on. When they don't fight side by side, line by line, it becomes all about pushing and shoving. Either way, they're able to hold on up front. The top 10 guys have been able to run really well so far. No incidents. It's 30 laps in out of 75. We should have a total of 46 laps remaining now, and that leads to less than 50 here as we are getting closer to the halfway marker. And side by side, Brandon Bernhardt going to be now with Don Stevenson. Stevenson falling down the order here. And side by side indeed, the 2 is with the 4. As we see just one spin in the back, that's Chad Dillon. We're going to have another caution. Let's find out just what happened here as the instant replay comes out onto the track. The Black Rifle, number 32, involved in that one. And let's take a quick look. Gets just a bit squirrely off of exit, tries to combat it, and goes right into Terrabush, where the drivers are risking it on tires, and it does not look like that's going to pay off. Track position looked to be the winner of the argument. And that is the proof that drivers like Thomas Bressi we need. And I think he stuck with the right equation there. Ethan Lane still leading the way, 32 laps in out of 75. And Wetmore in second, Fife third. And Alan Dobbs continuing to be in position number 4, having a great run so far as he's fighting inside and outside with 44 laps remaining. How about we get a word with the driver of the 05 machine as we go through all the guys up in the front of the pack. They're all doing a great job so far, and they all have many different things to say. It's all about the way you feel at the track, feel out the driving of it. As Dobbs, one of those guys right now, keeping it up front. And we saw him up front at Daytona, looking forward to getting another great run. It is the driver of the 05 machine. Alan Dobbs, so far up front, going to be the top 5 right now. So how do you feel? 43 laps remaining. We're seeing a lot of yellow flags altering strategies. So how have you been playing it? And trying to get a copy once again. Alan Dobbs, the 05 machine.
Hey, I got you.
Yeah, we got you. So, how you feeling?
Yeah, with all these cautions, it's really hard to do anything because, I mean, you basically have a restart, you battle for a couple laps, and you line up again. Most you can do is move up one position or back one position. Hopefully we can get a long run going and actually get some tire wear and see what happens, but we're just going to ride until that happens, I guess.
And certainly hoping to see a long run here as we are still waiting to get one, and track position has been key. So how's it been fighting with the guys up front, because we do not have a lot of opportunities to get it long? When you've had it, how's it been?
I think we've had a few good battles here on the restarts. I've definitely been in a battle every restart. Being back here, can't really, get out in front of anybody. So, mostly we're driving pretty conservatively. Nobody's really battling too hard because, I mean, right now we're in good positions. So as long as they keep wrecking in the back, there's not much battling to be done.
Absolutely. Right now, restart after restart. And tires, some guys are testing them already. So do you think there's even a shot of testing tires the way it's going?
I think that it could probably help, but I feel like you're going to get yourself mired back into the wrecking areas. So as of right now, I don't really have any plans to take any, but I'll follow the leaders if they go.
And track position appears to be the way to go for the leaders, including the driver of the 05 machine and Alan Dobbs. Thank you for the time as we are going to head one lap to green here. Right, driver of the 05 machine right back into the voice check, just giving us a second to let me get back into broadcast. And here we go. Good dragging him right back in. Dobbs, the 05 on the way. And Ethan Lane with Tom Wetmore, Thomas Bressy, Jacob Fife, and Lane looking to get another amazing start. He just seems to pull away by just a few tenths every time. There he does it again. Green flag's out, but it looks like that time by Wetmore gets an even better one. And Bressy now going to try to hold on the outside line in position number 3. That's going to be a hard ask for any driver. 40 laps to go now. And Lane out in front, Wetmore there as well. And there's going to be Thomas Bressy slotting himself into third, and Jacob Fife lets him. It looks like Fife will indeed let him, as Bressy, with the pressure right behind him, still holding on. And the sea of drivers behind the 24 machine. It's evident that he's going to have to push way hard to keep himself in the mix. As you can see, there's 3 wide in the back of the back. That looks to be involving David Mayberry. All going to keep it straight so far, though. And maybe we'll be able to get a long run broken in here. That is the hope that a lot of these guys have so far. As you can see, Bressy down to the inside line. Everyone who's got that line seems to be able to go quick. As you can see right now, Kevin Matz. And we're going to focus in on the 50 machine, able to pass Earnhardt there. And Cody Smith is keeping it at bay right now. If you got that inside line, you have the ticket to the promised land. And these guys on the inside, simply put, are faster. We make it to the halfway point, 37 laps to go. Now we are past the halfway point. The second half already on its way. Kevin Matz there with Cody Smith. And Smith trying to eke in on the inside line. And that he will be able to do in this battle for position 11. It looks at the 25, despite the damage now, is the edge. And that was a real calculated move. No contact, just able to use the air on the cars to move the 25 into position and move the 50 out of it. Now Don Stevenson trying to make a move and keep himself in the mix as well. And 36 laps to go, yet into the caution. Alan Rowell, Luis Caballero. And let's find out just what happened. See what brought out that yellow. 43 machine absolutely involved in this one, so let's find out why. It's the back of the pack there. You can see Caballero, you see Chad Dillon, you can see Alan Haight. Let's see if anything happened here. Goes up high, Rowell does, able to hold on, everyone does as well. And it looks like Caballero going to tap Rowell. And they're both going to get some contact. Rowell almost goes around. 32 machine, Chad Dillon able to save himself. But still multiple cars involved there. And that is going to constitute as a caution with 35 laps remaining. Ethan Lane still leading as the leaders go down pit road for the first time tonight. And Lane going to take the entirety of the field down except for very few. Now your new race leader, it is Brad Patton with Nicholas Ward in position number 2. And how about we talk to the driver who's trying this alternative strategy out, and maybe he's got something in store for these guys that they are not aware of. Patton, 2 machine, has himself up front in the sponsor meet number 2, looking for sponsors, and right now putting up an effort worth the sponsorship, leading the way, getting some airtime, and that's always great to see. If you want to sponsor a driver, Brad Patton might just be available. It is the number 2, and it is position number 1. Brad Patton right now leading the way. Looks like you're going to use that track position to your advantage. What's the word on the strategy for the number 2?
The strategy is being able to shift into 4th gear on these restarts. I keep having some problems. I don't know what the heck is going on, but we're going to play it out here and see if we can steal a W, because there's no way I'm winning this thing if we're just racing normal.
Right now, it looks like a sea of drivers able to hold on, and it looks like some of these guys who took tires earlier are now out front, but you were one of the few drivers, and now it looks like one of the 2 drivers on the original set of Goodyear slicks. So how's it going to be managing the tires, and do you think they're going to play into your racing as we get back to green?
We're going to find out real quick, because there's 5th place right now has tires on the last stop, so we'll find out how much the tires actually mean here. Other than that, we're just going to give it hell and see if we can pull out a W.
Absolutely. And out in front does not look like there is a lot of damage on that car, if there is any. Actually, there is some on the rear end. Do you think the rear end damage is coming into play? A lot of the guys have a lot of damage now. Not a lot of clear cars, so you think that's going to be disadvantage, or just the way it is here at Lakeland?
I just think it's going to be the way it is. I couldn't shift in 4th, like I was saying, and Nick got in the back of me, so me and him both have damage up here in 1st and 2nd, so we'll see how it goes.
And certainly going to be exciting start strategy playing well right now for the driver of the 2 machine, and Brad Patton looking to prove something here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Drag him right back into his voice chat. There is Patton in the 2, Nicholas Ward in the 1, Kyle Cooper in the 73 right now, and the My Chemical Romance 73 there with the 25 of Cody Smith. Don Stevenson is in 5th. Ross Cato on the move himself. Caitlin Haight now gets in the 7th. Sea of drivers we have not seen up front before are now leading this one. Ethan Lane is down in position 10, and we go green once again. Going to be a big wheel there from Kyle Cooper, and the leader is Brad Patton, and Patton gets a commanding start. And tires not playing into the equation all too much just yet. Patton gets a monster start on an old set of tires, 45 laps old to be exact. That start going to be able to play in his advantage big time at 31 laps remaining here. We're getting down to heat race territory in length, and this could be it. Strategy playing perfect, and Patton proving that his strategy risk might have been worth it. He now has a lead by about half a second over another car on an old set of tires, and the 2 cars pulling away are in a 46 lap old stint. 0-3 wide for 3rd, Kyle Cooper, netcode. That is big netcode, and again we see a netcode bring out a big wreck. Unbelievable. We did not see them touch real. Netcode brings out yet another instant replay on the matter, because that one absolutely not going to happen under real circumstances. He will bring it into slow motion just to prove that point. Replay already on the table here. We are going to bring it into slow-mo. As we said, this is going to be at a third of the speed here. So take a quick look. The 73 and the 2 never did touch. And he goes up way high. Saying hi to Lazarus Cat here. You can see a big hit for Kyle Cooper, and that's netcode. Unbelievable. And iRacing has just been messing up these races night after night. That should not have happened. And Kyle Cooper, can't blame him there, is Brad Patton holding on. Hell of a risk taker. And now he leads this one with 28 laps remaining. Unbelievable. That strategy looks to be paying off now. Patton is on a tear, and he's able to hold on with 1 driver behind him that has an old set as well. And the guys who did not pit are now at the advantage. Ethan Lane now looks to be in, not the front of the field. That is for certain. He is currently in 9th. Only able to make it up 1 spot there. These guys with the new sets just don't have it right now. Unbelievable. With I rating of 7,300, so I believe Lane does have the highest in the field. Certainly forced to be reckoned with. We saw how he ran before the stint got broken up in the strategy calls. Now, not seem to be working out for Ethan Lane. Brad Patton, and to beat now, simply, he's stuck to his guns, stuck to the traditional strategy. He's going to run on that set until it wears out. 27 to go, led by a 49-lap-old set of tires, and 2 49-lap-old sets comprise the front row. A 25 is in 3rd, and Don Stevenson is in 4th. Ross Cato 5th, Caitlin Haight is in 6th, and Blake Gordon position number 7. Tom Wetmore 8th, and then going to be the driver of Ethan Lane in 9th, Fife in 10th, and Alan Dobbs in 11th. As we should be able to head back to 1 to green this time by And it will be 25 laps to go, and we head back to the green flag. And the Inter-Series Exhibition so far being led by Brad Patton, and we saw him race that very paint scheme last night. He's back out once again, proving what he's got in store for these guys. Nobody seems to be on his level. Undeniable, these two are making something happen. Slowly but surely, looks like Patton might be the man to beat if strategy continues to fall in his favor. Nicholas Ward is in second. Cody Smith is in third. Don Stevenson there as well. If you enjoy the action, be sure to like and subscribe. We are just getting this thing kicked off. Green flag going to be out once again, led by Brad Patton. Restart once more. Dead even between the top two. And Patton able to clear that time by. Don Stevenson going to go up way high there. How we take a lap with the driver to the 2 machine. See if he's going to be able to make it work up high. And you can see Stevenson losing some time there in the number 2 machine. Not able to hold on. According to timing scoring, he is the 2 tonight. Alan Dobbs, not the 2, but Brad Patton, who is in the 2 paint scheme, is leading here. Now with 23 laps to go, he might be able to make it happen in the long run. 22 laps to go, and you know what that means. On this channel, 22 to go. Track Camps 22 to go. Crank it up. Will be delayed by caution. Let's find out what happened. And David Mayberry involved with Thomas Pressey. And checking in on an instant replay of that incident, Mayberry absolutely getting himself involved, but I think Thomas Pressey might have been in front, but no, he was not. Mayberry going to be the catalyst for this one, and let's find out just what happened. Someone gets wiggly there, and looks like Mayberry going to come right back off, and Pressey also involved. They synchronized and spin. Synchronized spinning. Going to lead to our caution here, 21 laps to go. And Brad Patton leading, as now Ethan Lane is in 16th. Pat might be able to steal this one. Unbelievable. Strategy calls are working out for the 18 machine. And Brad Patton putting on a great effort. And he might not have been the fastest guy when it came to every single lap. But now, Patton showing he has the pace and the potential to win this one, even if he doesn't have that new set of tires. He is going to go on one set all race long. Even if nobody else is doing it. He and Nicholas Ward first and second are the only 2 to even attempt it. They're still up front for a reason. One lap car going to go up high. That looks to be Guillermo Alvarez. And Alvarez in the 83 on the move. Getting his lap back. Only one retiree. It's Matt Janas. 24 drivers still remain in this event. Head back to the green. We will have a crank it up. Stay tuned. Uninterrupted. Getting ready for some great sounds and sights. These guys are all putting on a great show. Brad Patton, 19 laps to go under yellow, leading from Nicholas Ward, Cody Smith, Don Stevenson, Blake Gordon, Don Wetmore, Jacob Fife with Cody Griffin in 8th so far, and Ross Cato in 9th. We still have a lot of time before we get back to the show here. And as everyone rolls slowly but surely, we now should have 2 laps to green. How about we try to dial up a driver here and get a word from one of them, and let's see what we can find. And looking through one of the available drivers, it looks like Nicholas Ward in the 2nd spot is indeed available. And let's try to get a word from the driver in position number 2. See what he's up to so far. Now with 18 laps to go, Nicholas Ward in the second spot. How do you feel going to the remainder of this race? Because it looks like the tire gamble is working out for you and the one machine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, if we can keep the, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. The cautions keep falling out, and it's blessing and a curse, because it keeps everybody behind us, but then it gives them more shots at getting up here and getting it. I think we got a good shot of staying up here in the top 3, though, so that's what we're hoping for. Clean car and finish the race up here in the front.
Certainly, and it looks like 1 lap to green. So any final thoughts before we get back to the show?
Just thank you for broadcasting, and hopefully this is a fun finish.
And absolutely hoping for a fun finish. A great race so far the one machine has had. And thank you once again, Nicholas Ward. I'll drag you right back in as we speak. And green flag is out. Nick Ward on his way, and Brad Patton still leading them through. Green is out, 17 laps to go. Let's crank it up. Brought to you by TrackHamsWay2.com, as Ward gonna go way high there, and he's gonna go all the way around. Don Stevenson does as well. And a big miss there. Brad Patton still leads. Let's crank it up. And it is a caution. That crank it up is going to be much shorter than expected, as Brad Patton still leading. Now Blake Gordon is in second, Cody Smith in third, Jacob Fife in fourth, with Tom Wetmore position number 5 and Cody Griffin in 6th. And we have yet another caution. Ethan Lane looks to be involved. Let's find out just what happened. And 3 wide there, 73 going to tag Kyle Cooper. And that brings out your yellow. A big hit. We will see who gets the worst of it. It looks like Brandon Bernhardt absolutely going to get banged up there. And keeps himself from getting much more damage. Still hits that front end and not going to be good at all. He already had no front end on that car. And he is running out of options. The damage is going to keep compounding. I'm not sure if he'll even be able to make a finish of that race the way things have gone. Patton still leading. 14 laps remaining. And Blake Gordon getting up into the second spot with Cody Smith in third there. And the 25 machine has been able to make the rounds. And the Budweiser 25, the highest he has been up all race long. Smith has been on a tear there. Nothing stopping him so far. 25 laps to go. We far past it, but the 25 machine looking forward to crunch time here. Putting on a great show thus far. And currently in the third spot as crunch time, we are indeed in it. So for the driver of the number 25 machine, Cody Smith has a lot more time to make this one happen. And currently in third, Cody Smith, how do you feel going into the tail end of this one? It should be 12 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We got some fresh tires behind me, so we'll see if we can get some green flag racing in. We're probably going to lose a few spots, but we'll see what we can do.
And tire strategy has been different all race long for a multitude of drivers. Brad Patton, our leader on the first set of the race. Blake Gordon looks to be on a bit younger tires, so strategies are mixed up. Everyone choosing something different to make their race perfect. So what will it be about from here on out? A lot of cautions, keeping these guys up front where you're just going to rely on them or go for it at the tail end.
Yeah, I mean, honestly and truly, I'd rather race, but for my finishing position, I probably need a few more cautions. These tires, they don't mean a ton, but they mean enough to, I doubt I can hold these guys off. But, hey, there's a few laps left to go here, and we'll see what we can do and try to keep it as far to the front as we can.
And keeping it up front looks to be the name of the game here, as we still have 2 to go. So either way, any final thoughts about how this race has gone so far and how it will go as we are heading into the final segment of this event?
I think it's already been crazy, but I fully expect that crazy to continue. Hopefully we can put on a good show here. That's the main goal. This is it's been a fun race when we've actually done the racing. So again, hopefully we can get that going here to the end.
And certainly looking forward to a driver of the 25 machine in Cody Smith, third position right now. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I drag you right back into your voice chat as the 25 is on the podium right now and looks set to take home one of the 4 prizes on display. Way to the winner, 10 to second, 5 to third, 5 to a random other finisher in this race. We'll see how that randomizer prize goes. Brad Patton certainly has this one in his favor. Jacob Fife on a newer set of tires has made his way up as well. And it could be do or die for these guys trying to get it up there. Patton been able to hold on, and he's become the new dominator of this event. We'll see how risky these guys get it trying to win this race. And the green flag is out this time by Patton leads Gordon. We're green once more. 10 laps becomes 9 laps to go. This race is back on its way. And double file again, Patton and Gordon side by side, and they are moving through. With Jacob Fife now in third, this could be time to do it. As side by side, Cody Smith gonna be able to hold on to it. Cody Griffin does as well, and they all lose a multitude of spots. As Patton now side by side with Gordon, the 3 wide in the back of the pack, and we stay green. You can see the middle of the pack getting oh so intense, and it looks like Cody Smith going to be almost sent around there, able to save it. He does get contact and never keeps going. And Brad Patton still in the lead. Blake Gordon right behind him. Jacob Fife on a new set of tires. So is Gordon, though. These guys with a new set might be able to run down for the first time the guy who's been running all race long in that lead. And it is getting intense. Riding on board with the driver of the 18 machine. Let's check the rear end. Gordon getting close to that bumper time after time. Going to be a bit of a nudge to start it, but it could become a full-on shunt by the end of it. And 6 laps to go. And Patton now has a load of pressure to hold on to. Jacob Fife has some as well. Wetmore's back up front here. And Ethan Lane down in 7th as the caution flag flies. Once again, Victor Avila Felix seems to be involved. Let's find out what happened. And this sending us into overtime. And it looks like a big incident in the back of the pack. Let's find out why it happened and what caused it. And absolutely, Cody Griffin going to get right around almost. Well, he's able to keep it together there. Kevin Matz gets on the edge there. And he's going to spin around at the same time as it looks like Avila Felix gets involved, begs off of Kalen Haight in a big-time hit there. And that one might have been a single-car incident, but a multitude of single-car incidents at once leads us to our caution. Brad Patton leads with 5 laps remaining. And now the pressure leading a few of these guys. The crack, we've seen some incidents that we were not expecting beforehand. Brad Patton able to avoid all of them. Jacob Fife is in 3rd. Tom Wetmore is in 4th here. And Ross Cato position number 5 with Alan Dobbs 6th. Ethan Lane now in 7th. It could be anyone's game up here. As a wreck in the tail end, it could mean disaster for a guy up front. We believe we will have a natural green-white checkered, if at all, to finish this one off here in Lakeland. A great 75 lap feature we've had so far. Almost done with it. Enjoy the action. Be sure to like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated if these guys are still gearing up for the remainder of this event, and perhaps the most important and exciting segment of it, as the pace car going to lead them once again, the pace truck there, and they will be led a few more times down under Payson, and then 2 more times under Racing. Get this show on its way. We will have a green-white checkered. Start this one off, make it down to the white. It will be a 1-lap shootout from there. You just got to make it there to make it happen, and anyone up front knows that they just make it to the white for a shot. Any line can be used. Get as aggressive as you want by the tail end of it, and then it's all over from there on out. Blake Gordon in 2nd, Jacob Fife in 3rd, Tom Wetmore in 4th, Ross Cato in 5th, Alan Dobbs in 6th, and Ethan Lane in 7th. And Brad Patton, the man on the top of the board here. Blake Gordon, position number 2, Jacob Fife in 3rd, and Tom Wetmore in 4th. The fastest 4, it's a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Toyota. And the fastest Ford is in 5th. Ross Cato making his way back up. And the 12 machine down in the top 5. But the 2 machine, the 18 according to timing and scoring, has been dominant ever since he made the decision to keep himself on the track about halfway into this event. And that decision has been crucial. He's led almost every single lap ever since, and nobody on the level of Brad Patton. Now, an opportunity for a driver like Jacob Fife, a driver like Blake Gordon, or a driver like Brad Patton, as we're going to head down to a 1 lap to green scenario here. Lap 75, it will be a 77 lap race if we come to the green this time through. And the race has been extended for its first, what appears to be now 2 green, white, checkered attempts. And from there on out, it is over. And the iRacing pace truck lead them by the final sim racing sprint. Patton, Gordon, Fife, and Tom Wetmore. These guys up front, they've been up front for a long while, and they've all had pace. Patton might be the most unexpected. He's led the most of all 4 of them. The pace truck is in. It's time to get back at it. The InterSeries Exhibition facing its final 2 laps. Green flags out. Lane O'Reilly making aggressive moves in the back of the pack. Brad Patton right there with Blake Gordon. Yellow flags out already. And it's a huge one. Oh my goodness. Guillermo Alvarez goes around. Tara Butch, everyone's involved. And let's take a quick look and find out what happened. And it follows Cody Griffin and Ross Cato starting it. Ethan Lane gets out of it. And the 1 machine piles in. Kyle Cooper there. Guillermo Alvarez. Avila. And everyone's involved. Ross Cato, of course, getting out. Tara Butch. And we will head to our next overtime attempt. And now we wait. Once again. 3 laps remain here at Daytona, and everyone looking forward to the mental game of this event as Blake Gordon in second, Tom Wetmore in third, and Jacob Fife falls down the 4th. Alan Dobbs 5th, Ethan Lane is in 6th, and Kaylin Haight is in 7th with Alan Rowell now taking 7th from her. She's going to be in 8th now. As you can see, Thomas Bresty now in 9th, able to recover a lot of spots, a lot of time. And it's all about enduring the tension, enduring the pressure, and making yourself home up front. Competition, it has been stacked in this event. The driver of the number 2 machine, while knowing it, has been able to manage every driver perfectly, keeping himself up front. Nobody else has led since the midway point. It's been the Alan Rowell race so far. Said he's going to try to steal a win, but right now everyone else is going to try to steal a win from him. And it looks like next time through, maybe the final attempt at it. Look to see what is going on. So much time remains to get this one set up. 79 laps in. Brad Patton, Blake Gordon, and Tom Wetmore making his way up into 3rd. Jacob Fife able to hold on in 4th right now. Alan Dobbs, position number 5 as well. And 3 laps remaining here. These guys up front know that patience is out the window. You do want to make sure you get to that last lap, that's for certain. But from there on out, it is all fair game. And we'll see how aggressive they get. Certainly a lot of aggression shown in the back of the pack, and not everyone is happy about that. Either way, though. Patton, Gordon, Wetmore, Jacob Fife. Those 4, the ones to watch, I think. Ethan Lane has made his way up into 6th. If something happens to these guys up front, it'll be Lane's game. And he has been oh so close. You know, without the driver, the 26 machine out, there is a reason he's still up front. After the fact that he got involved almost in an incident beforehand, able to clear himself out of a lot of trouble. And Lane still there. Brad Patton, Blake Gordon, Tom Wetmore, Alan Dobbs, Jacob Fife. And it is a mix of drivers, the Integrity Series and the Octane Series. And I think it would be a big win for Integrity, for Brad Patton to come out on top. Of course, it's all for fun, that's for certain. It's all for the drivers to win it. A lot of experience with the Xfinity cars coming from last night at Daytona, and it looks like Brad Patton able to hold on and carry it over quite well into a strategy race and has put himself on top 1 lap to green again. And this could be it. And I believe this will, in fact, be the final attempt at it. Consolation only had 1 green white checkered attempt. We will see if this is the same case. Patton and Gordon, oh so close from one another, going to rub just a bit. As Patton running it just a bit high there. yellow file they are, with Tom Wetmore in third, Jacob Fife in fourth, and Alan Dobbs in fifth. And Ethan Lane, the driver who dominated the first 46 laps of this one, well, he is in sixth. And double file this time by. It's going to be side by side. The 2 and the 48. They go green once again. A big start for the 48. Green flag is out on the second overtime attempt. And Patton is going to turn himself almost right into the field. He's able to lock it down, but that's going to be it. Yellow flag's out once again. And that was not a wreck, but that might be it. And I believe Blake Gordon's still going. And he's going to take what looks to be not the white flag, although now it is under yellow. Brad Patton hits the grass on the final restart, and Gordon will win under yellow. Blake Gordon coming home. A race of attrition. And he will come to the stripe as the race winner here in the Inter-Series Exhibition. And we saw him last night, and it looks like Endeavor Racing able to make it happen. The 48 wins from Lakeland, and 2 nights of 2 great races for Gordon, and he puts himself on the map here with the victory in dominating fashion. Some drivers, he dominated that final restart. And that's all you need. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And Blake Gordon gonna back it down there. And Brad Patton backed it down all the way, and he's on pit road now. And that is it. Race is over. And that was counted as a caution. And I'm thinking iRacing had automatic cautions on, because I don't believe that an admin would call that a caution. And that's an iRacing thing. I think the smoke honestly might have triggered that one. It's almost like a smoke detector in iRacing when it comes to automatic cautions. As Gordon comes down to the line, it gets burnout. And Fro Buffett, thanks for stopping by here. Hope you enjoy the race. As Gordon has already backed it down, parking it on the front straightaway. Although it looks like he would not do much else, and he is still the winner either way. What a show put on by the driver of the 48 machine, able to come home in the first position. It is Blake Gordon, position number 1 after 75 hard-fought laps. And it looks like it all came down to that final restart and just managing to stay on the track. You win as a result. How do you feel after this one?
I really don't know. There's a little bit of an odd finish there. I don't really know how to feel about it, but the last restart, I get what the strategy was, keeping me up the track, coming to the green flag. And the second one there, I wasn't really going to play the same game. He's bouncing off my door and everything, so I don't know. I don't know what they're going to decide, but I don't know. The rest of the race is fun. It was pretty aggressive out there tonight, especially once we started cycling through at the pit stops, getting some of the faster guys behind on fresh tires and whatnot. But had a lot of fun racing with the 51, 36. Who else up there? Ethan, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. This is the type of racing I like, but the ending definitely got a little, I think, spoiled, and I don't know what they're going to look at there.
And certainly the final restart, it looks like that one was decided at their first few hundred feet, and looks like only one full overtime attempt, tail end of it. So how is it managing those short runs? Because a lot of them throughout the entirety of this event.
Yeah, I mean, you just had to be aggressive and pick up spots when you could. Definitely a lot of restarts, a lot of opportunities to throw it in 3 wide. There was a couple times where we did that tonight. Did it in the heat, shouldn't have, did it tonight. Felt like I had to with the 51 on my inside and 11 again on my outside. You just had to take advantage of it. If they slipped up, you had to be there to capitalize, or else you're going to get stuck in log jams. So it's just product of the race tonight being for fun at a short track with cars that are really fun on a short track. So hopefully there's not a whole lot of hard feelings coming out of tonight. But I mean, I had fun. The ending, I don't know if you can tell, but the ending kind of, I don't know how to feel about it.
And certainly despite the ending there, as it does end under yellow, still a hard-fought total of 83 laps at the tail end of it. And we are getting started here on Tuesday nights in just about, I think, 2 weeks' time here. So do we expect to see you back as the Octane Series gets started? Of course, we have seen you in the Ignite Series already. So how do we feel about going on from here? This could be your final Tuesday night start if you're not in. So how are we expecting to see you as the season goes on?
Yeah, I won't be running Tuesdays. I'll be a Monday only driver this year. So hopefully, I guess that's the good thing, right? The Tuesday night drivers I don't have to see again, but I definitely don't want to come in here and pinball people. But yeah, hopefully Monday night the Rock goes good next week, and we'll have some fun.
Absolutely, from the Integrity Ignite Series, Blake Gordon getting it done here in the InterSeries Exhibition. So, any final thoughts?
Not really. I got some talking to do with some admins after this, I think. So, thanks for doing the broadcast. Thanks for them putting on the race. I had fun. Just wish we had a little bit of a cleaner ending there.
And absolutely thank you for stopping by. Blake Gordon, winner of tonight's event. Thank you once more.
No problem, man.
There we have it, the 48 machine of Blake Gordon, your race winner in second position. Tom Wetmore, who still appears to be scored as the only driver still on the track, and Wetmore in the 51. It looks like he's already locked up in an admin discussion, and we cannot pull him out of that. So that's not going to happen, I don't believe. Admin's already discussing what's going on. And it looks like Cody Smith in there as well. It looks like all the admins already in deliberation, so we can't get an interview with Tom Wetmore tonight. We'll move on. Alan Dobbs in third position tonight. Let's get a word from the driver of the 05 machine, because it looks like he will be the final driver we'll get to, because you don't have permission to move any of the admins when they are, of course, in the admin chat. So, drivers already, some of them have already left the Discord chat. Alan Dobbs not one of which, so let's get a word from the man of that 05 machine, usually, tonight in the 9 for the timing and scoring, and he still comes home in third. And another great run for one of the Integrity Ignite guys that we saw beforehand, and we will get a word from him immediately. Dobbs coming home in position number 3, and we're going to drag him right in as we speak. Rounding out your podium for tonight's event, Alan Dobbs, third in the night. How do you feel?
Oh, that was crazy, huh? I had a 0x after that race. I'm really proud of that. I got to keep my good Alan status. I don't think anybody's mad at me. That's a really good position to be in right now.
And how about that? A 0x in a very incident-packed race, and all came down to an incident at the end of the day. So really, that is a shocker. A 0x to finish off this race, and it looks like you will, in fact, be the only driver, retiree or not, to finish with a entirely clean car. So what about that, and how about that? So long runs, short runs, we saw mostly short. How was it managing the car all race long and keep yourself in a clean state to finish this one off?
Well, I mean, when you come down to getting wrecked from behind or not, it's not really something you can control. Luckily, we didn't have anybody behind us that did that. The car was really easy to manage, I thought. It was definitely loose on exit, but if you just, not pedal to the floor, it was fine. But I'm not sure why there were so many cautions. I really wish this would have been a more clean race. It really could have been a lot more fun.
Lot of yellows indeed, and it looks like 41 laps on the stint at the end of the day, running it pretty long there when it came to tires. So how was it managing those tires as you went about halfway on that run?
When I changed them after about 40 laps or so, they were like 98s and 197. So I really shouldn't have even changed tires. We should have just stayed out and probably would have got better than third.
Looks like tire strategy going to be a debatable one there. A lot of guys choosing a lot of different things, but eventually coming home on the podium, and we will get started on Tuesday nights with the Octane Series very, very soon. So do we expect to see you there? And of course, do we expect to see you continuing the Ignite Series? We will head to Rockingham in a week's time.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get these things going. Rockingham's going to be an absolute mess, I'm sure. Hopefully we can put on a good show, but after the night, my confidence level is not really at a high. But, we're definitely going to be running both series for as long as they allow us to run. Hopefully we don't, ruffle any of the wrong feathers, and we can have a good time here.
Absolutely. Alan Dobbs coming home in the third position tonight. A great run here at Lakeland. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, buddy.
Drag him right back into his voice chat. It looks like Tom Wetmore ready to speak with us here in the second position. Coming home in the runner-up spot, Wetmore, second on the board tonight. How do you feel?
Man, I tell you, that was a little bit less green flag racing than we'd like to see, but thought fresh tires were going to prevail there at the end, but I think it got wild. What do you think?
Certainly did get wild. A lot of action here tonight, and all came down to a yellow overtime attempts as well. So how was it from the driver's perspective there, fighting through and eventually coming home on the podium?
Yeah, we started second in the first heat, finished second. Started second 75 laps ago, and still end up second. Passed a whole bunch of cars, got passed by some cars, but the Tube Tech Supra still ends up in second somehow. So, gotta say, heartbreak goes out to Brad Patton and his team over there. Just missed a grab into fourth gear when we were coming to that last restart, and really just heartbreaking for his team. Was super excited to see him do well and race up front there for the last half of the race, holding off some really fast guys on old PVC pipe tires, and unfortunately it comes off my front bumper. So hate it for his team, but excited to see Blake Gordon, new winner on a Tuesday night, and for us to bring home P2, but certainly wish Brad was here on the podium with me tonight.
Everything changed when it came to the podium at the end of this race and Tuesday night, and it is a new winner for the Tuesday nights as we get gearing up for the Octane Series. In just about 2 weeks' time, I believe, we are going to head to our season opener Daytona there very, very soon. Do we expect to see you there as Tuesday nights are going to be gearing up soon? What are your plans going into this year?
Absolutely. Coming into a plate track, there's nobody who pushes better than Brad Patton. So hopefully he doesn't hate me too much, and you'll see us both nose to tail yet again at Daytona. I'm confident in it, working our way to the front. So Tube Tech Supra and his unsponsored ride working together, I'm looking forward to it.
There we have it, Tom Wetmore, runner-up on the night, and it looks like looking forward already to the remainder of the Tuesday nights, getting into the swing of things here, and the Octane Series coming up very soon. Thank you once again. Wetmore going to be on his way right now. Let's get on to your race result for this event. Get on the move here. What a race that was. Blake Gordon coming home as the race winner under yellow there, and still coming home on top. What a way to do it, though. Able to keep himself on the track, and that eventually is all that matters in times like this. Able to play it at the right situation, right moment, right place, and right time. There you have it. Race winner Blake Gordon. And certainly a lot of different feelings when it came to the end of this race. And it's Blake Gordon, the 48, on top at the end of it. As you can see, this is the final caution looping into the remainder of this race. And the winner of this event, 25 cars in the main, Blake Gordon wins over second-place driver Tom Wetmore. Looks like he was second to second, flag to flag, even in the heat. And Alan Dobbs comes home in third with Alan Rawell in fourth. Then Ethan Lane fifth, Jacob Fife in sixth, Kalen Haight in seventh, and Nick Terabuch in eighth, with Thomas Bressy in position number 9 and Victor Avila Felix in 10th as well. It's going to be David Mayberry in the 11th, Ross Cato in 12th, with Brendan Bernhardt in 13th, George Canales in 14th, and Kevin Matz in 15th with Cody Smith, position 16. Kyle Cooper, position number 17, and Guillermo Alvarez in 18th, and Luis Caballero in 19th. Cody Griffin rounds out the top 20, and from there on out, Nicholas Ward, Don Stevenson, Brad Patton, Chad Dillon, and final retiree, Matt Jonas. Round out your field in the InterSeries Exhibition. And what a win for the driver of the 48 machine. And we are getting geared up for Tuesday nights. And Tuesday nights are never better than when they're spent here live on Fireball Talks NASCAR with the Integrity Octane Series coming up on Tuesdays. And of course, paired with the Integrity Ignite Series on Monday nights. If you enjoyed the action, we hope you like and subscribe. It means the world to have the great support week after week. We couldn't do it without any one of you fans in the virtual stands. And we truly do hope you enjoy the presentation whenever we are live and whenever we are covering. And we're going to be next live on Thursday night with the IORA Cup Series, and we will hopefully be able to bring together a great show there. The Red Bull Ring, always an incredible track there in, I believe, Austria. And we're going to try to catch up on that. No, my apologies, it's the Hungaro Ring. So, of course, it's going to be in Hungary there. And the Red Bull Ring, one of the greatest tracks the Formula One schedule, and NASCAR Next-Gen of the IORA Cup Series is going to be able to take it on in just a few days' time. The World Tour going to end one race early, and that will be the final leg of the tour. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and if you did, we hope to be back very soon live on FDN. Thank you all once more. We hope you have a great night.